Okay, hold on to your butts because this is going to be a long, boring, and complicated video, but hopefully it'll be something that will teach you guys something really darn cool. So the goal of this video is to show you guys two different things. So one is going to be how to incorporate your avatars into a Harpa prompt chain, so that way you can get that extra focus and clarification on the task that you're actually working on. And then the second part of this is showing you guys how to actually create the prompt chain, how I'm kind of structuring things, and then we're actually going to build a prompt chain as we work on this. So first thing we're going to need, of course, is going to be our avatar. This is the avatar we're going to be working with today. This is Chris. So we're going to grab Chris's data right here. This is a version 1 or 2 AI avatar. I think this is a V1 avatar. So we're up to like V5. So it is a little bit older. I'll need to update this, but it should be fine for our task at hand. Then we're going to go over to YouTube. I think this is the kind of prompt I want to create. So what I want to do is I want to create a system that will go through a YouTube video and identify parts of that video that would be really, really interesting for my target viewer, and give me some ideas of similar content that I can create. Then also parts from this video that would make good for like a remix, so stuff that I can share to kind of help support this YouTuber as well. Because again, YouTube's not a what's the word? A zero-sum game, right? Like people can watch more than one video, that can be subscribed to more than one channel, and so we get more benefit by supporting each other and helping each other than we would by just not. And so that's our task. We're going to get similar content ideas to this, and then we're also going to look for parts of this video that our viewers would enjoy, so that we can share that with them and help promote this channel at the same time. All right, that being said, first thing we're going to need to do is you want to make sure you have a ChatGPT account. You're going to need to log into that with Harpa. We're going to make sure we have Harpa open right over here. We're running on version 5.8, which is pretty darn cool. And we're also going to want to make sure we have our avatar set up and ready to go, and the video that we're going to be working on as kind of our test. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to open up our command menu, which we do by clicking this little button down here. We're going to click on create a new command. And we're going to name this one the Open World Remix and Idea Generator, or something like that. And then we'll come back to the description here in a second. And then this is going to be our first prompt. We're going to delete that because that's kind of a placeholder. And now we are ready to begin. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to say, I need you to assume that this avatar, which I will provide below, is the target audience, I can spell, for each of the tasks we will complete moving forward. Once you have read and understood the avatar as well, as the avatar, please state avatar loaded and ready for use. Like that. Here is the avatar data. Boom. Okay, so that's step one. Next step, we want it to review the video, right? So we'll say, please review this YouTube video. And we're going to add in the tag for it. It's going to be YouTube.transcript. I want a summary of the video, its key moments, important quotes, and I'll say intended, not estimated, intended audience. And then what we're going to do is we're going to click this button here where it says slice into chunks, and we're going to change this over to the YouTube transcript. And then it has like codes and stuff like tell you what these different things are. So what slicing into chunks does is, because this is a 20-minute long video, that's a lot of data to put into any AI, right? So what this will do is it's going to go through and it's going to scan it piece by piece based off of its memory limits, and then it's going to compile everything and actually complete the task here at the end. So that is what we're going to do over here. So just make sure we got that button pushed until that we want it to get the transcript. And if you push this button right here, this should, yeah, so you have like all the different bits and pieces and like what all the different codes and everything do. So that's going to go right there. That should be good. Then we're going to say based on the avatar and this, I'll say in the summary you provided, which segments would work well as YouTube Shorts? Can you include timestamps for those sections? Say your reasoning for each recommendation, and I'm trying to think what else, and a link to the timestamp so I can watch it. This is supposed to be a question. And then also, please keep in mind the requirements and limitations imposed on YouTube Shorts, such as length, such as video length. Okay, and then if we wanted to, it may not even be a bad idea to do the transcript thing again, just in case. Transcript, leave that there. But then before we do that, the other thing I want to add to this is I don't want to ask a question. I also wanted to give us some ideas of what kind of content we could create moving forward based off of this. So we're going to do two things right here. First, we're going to scroll down just a little bit on the page because we want to load in all the comments, or a bunch of the comments at least. And then we're going to do this. Using my, I'll call it avatar, could you, the avatar and the comments, using my avatar, the summary, and the comment section of this video, can you give me, we'll say 5 recommendations for similar videos that I could create that would be the most, would be say interesting to my avatar. Please format your response like this. Section number. And I will say suggestion number. Suggested title. We'll say video topic. And we'll say video summary and reasoning. And we'll also do line down here at the very bottom. I don't know if that actually does anything, but it makes me feel good. You can find the comments here, and we'll go page, and we'll tell it to scan the page as well. All right, so now we have our prompt change set up. Let's go ahead and add a description to this real quick. We'll say it reviews the video from the avatar perspective, creates a summary, list of similar videos, and extracts sections for short/remixes. Cool. Then we click save, and now we're going to test the stupid thing. So I'll scroll all the way back up to the top. And again, this is about Baldur's Gate 3, which is the hottest thing in the market right now. It's actually a really fun game. And we're going to push the button and see what happens. Avatar's loaded and ready for use. That means it's been able to read everything and understands the task. Video provides an extensive guide for building Shadowheart, a character in the game Baldur's Gate 3. It's a very powerful cleric tank. Key moments. Very good. We are missing kind of a big section between 5 minutes and 13 minutes. I'll have to double check that. It could also just be that that whole section is talking about that. So it's from 5. So from 5 minutes, character creation and stats, spells and skills, resistance stuff, leveling. Okay. Well, we already got a mistake in here. So let's see. Here's our important quotes. Estimated intended audience. And then connection with the avatar. So it's actually pulling that up by itself. That's probably because of my custom instructions just saying, hey, I really like getting information from avatars and stuff. Particularly love for challenging gameplay, immersive worlds, and so on. Let us do... We'll just push enter and see what happens. Send. So, something broke. Let's stop. And then let's double check and see what's happening here. That's what these tests are for. No, it's not supposed to do that. That's why it keeps adding in that question. So let's go ahead and clear. And then we'll let this run one more time. So we're going to call this part troubleshooting. Okay, those are important quotes. Here's our estimated audience. Likely gamers, particularly those playing the game, looking for advanced strategies to build Shadowheart as a tank. Here's the players who are familiar with the game's mechanic, character building, and seeking detailed insights for optimizing Shadowheart's performance in game. Connection to the avatar. So in gaming, content consumption, gaming rules. So yeah, it says that this is going to be relevant to the avatar, which is great. Based on the provided transcript and the comments section, here are 5 recommendations for similar videos that could be created to cater to the interests of the audience. Number 1, suggested title BG3, the ultimate mage tank build. That could be fun. So, video topic, creating a mage tank build in BG3. Let's stop that real quick. So the guide explores how to build a mage tank in the game, combines a bunch of spells and other stuff, reasoning. The original video focused on the cleric tank build, and the audience's interest in unconventional tanking strategies could be further explored by mage tank. Pretty solid. Shadowheart alternative builds, exploring different playstyles. Sounds good. Reasoning, some comments expressed interest in alternate builds for Shadowheart, and a guide that explores different paths for this character would cater to those looking for a variety of lore-friendly options. Solid advice. Mastering crowd control, the Polearm Sentinel build. That could be fun. One of the comments suggested the use of a Polearm Sentinel skills for checkpoints. Where'd it go? For choke point damage. Creating a guide focused on this concept would provide a strategic approach to the battlefield control appealing to tactical-minded players. I like that. Rare weapon guide. There's like a billion of those already, so I probably wouldn't want to do that. Comprehensive companion guide is a good one too. So maybe something showing like all the different companions. Yeah, covering all the companions, insights on their builds, lore, strategic uses, and so on. Pretty solid. And then these are the sections that it recommends for the shorts. So for the remixes. So for example, this one right here, the Warding Flare ability that starts at minute 2:02 2 and 229. So that's going to be right here. So what we can do then, if we wanted to, is we can grab this part right here where it says clip. Stop. And we can say, okay, we want from 202 to 229. Let me pause that. Oh, I guess we need to give it a title, so we need to add that to this thing as well. But we could add something like, turn Shadowheart into a tank or something like that. So we'll add that to our prompt down here as well. We could just do this. Could you give me some and then we're actually going to cheat just a little bit. We're going to steal something here from a colleague of mine. So he went and he created a whole bunch of really, really cool down to there templates for YouTube videos. So like 100 of the best performing YouTube video titles, and he turned it into a Google Sheet, and I was able to take that Google Sheet and turn it into a prompt. So we're going to actually add that to this system. But before we do that, based on segments recommended, here's some good titles: Build the Ultimate Cleric Tank in BG3, Master the Infinite Warding Flare, Unleash the Radiance of the Dawn, Divine Intervention. Yeah, they're okay. Those will work. Let's make one last adjustment to this and say, GPT-3, can you create titles for those shorts? Please follow this framework. Boop, boop, like that. And then we save that. And so that should do the trick. We're going to go ahead and test this thing one more time just to make sure it's doing everything we expect it to do. But that is your basic, prompt chain creation utilizing your viewer avatar. And again, you can do this exact same process for, creating a blog post or creating social media posts or for reviewing stuff or for building stuff, like anything else that you'd want to do. Like this is kind of how you would go through in that same process, right? So first thing you'd want to do, make sure you're loading in the avatar, make sure that the AI understands what the avatar is for. It's supposed to be our, the target audience for everything. Make sure you're telling it to state the avatar loaded and ready for use or something similar to that. Otherwise, it's going to repeat the entire avatar back to you, and ain't nobody got time for that. And then, like I said, it's never going to be perfect on the first try. So test, tweak, optimize. You can keep adding stuff to this. You can remove stuff from this. And as soon as this is finished, I'll also show you how we could take this and package it and sell it as, as an individual thing. But yeah, so like I said, don't be sad if it doesn't work exactly right the first time. It's going to take a little bit of tweaking and testing and optimizing. And like, I do these things for a living. Like I make dozens of these things every week. And you saw, I still had to go through and make adjustments. So I think we went through 3 or 4 versions of this before we have this one that I think will actually work. So I'm going to skip ahead until this thing's finished, and then we'll do some final insights, final steps. Yeah, we're finished. All right, so let's take a quick look at this last section, make sure everything worked the way we're expecting. Short 1, Introduction to Shadowheart's capabilities, listicle videos, 5 reasons to play Shadowheart. This clerk build will change the way you want to play Baldur's Gate forever. Yeah, I like those. Cool. So let me show you then how we could take this kind of a prompt and then sell it, right? Pretty easy, actually. So we're going to click on this to open up our command menu again. We're going to click this button right here. Then we're going to click Export. And then we're going to name this. Let me find my Harpa prompts. Like that. Cool, now it's done. And let me open that up over here. Okay. And then if you ever wanted to sell this, like you can take that prompt, this prompt right here, and you say, okay, I want to sell this thing for $5. So what you got to do, the end user would only need to install Harpa, which again is free. You just need your ChatGPT account for it. Then you'll open up your menu again, come over here to where it says import. It'll ask you to drag and drop it. So we're going to take this, we're just going to drag and drop it right there. And then push import, and it's done. That will load it straight into the thing, and it is ready to go. Where it went, I don't know. Open World Remix and Idea Generator. So that is how easy and simple that is. And like this can then go out to anybody who is, you know, in this particular case, right? Anybody who is trying to make YouTube videos about open world games or, you know, anything like that. You could also do, you know, roofing companies. You can also do people who are starting small businesses. You could also do teachers. You could do anything that you wanted with it. But that's kind of the outline of the process that you would follow, and that process can be pretty consistent across the board. Now, there are a lot more... Oops, I didn't mean to start that up again. There are a lot of other options down here as far as the additional steps that you can add. There's other features that you can include in this, but for something simple, like this is probably going to do the job for you. So hopefully that's been helpful for you guys, and see you guys in the next video.